Hi, my name is Ben, and today I'm going to talk about the second part of my dog clicker mini project that I had to do for my Udacity course. You can check in the description of the video below for the first part. I had 5 different requirements that I had to do for a single project. The first one is basically to create a dog image with a title and a click counter. Then the requirements changed. Then I had to have 2 dogs with each their own subtitle and each their own click counter. And for the third one, I had to add a list of dogs, as you can see right here. And I also had to have a display window. So if I clicked on an image, the dog image would appear with a dog with the name above and the click counter below. And for the fourth requirement, I didn't have to add anything extra, but I had to change how I structured my code. It helps a lot in the long run. It may be annoying to structure it up initially, but you'll be so thankful in the end, especially when you do larger projects where you're going to have different requirements change over time. With organized code, you can keep working on a project and not get the spaghetti code, which will take weeks and weeks to fix. And with clean structured code, those issues are not there. It just is a little more time consuming to structure, but you'll be thankful in the end. So right here, I have on the left side, I have the third step code, and on the right side, I have the cleanly structured code. As you can see, it's already a bit more extreme. There's a lot more code involved. For the structured code, Udacity advises to use a model, a view, and an octopus. It sounds crazy, but it works. The model contains all your data and your shortcuts. The view contains what you want to render or initiate, and the octopus connects both together and also allows the functions to be initiated. I have the document type ready function all the way at the bottom on my code, but with the structured code, you write all the code inside this function. This is jQuery, and this is how your code can be executed. So in the model, I have my data. I also have initiate function with the current dog of null. And my dog array is slightly different. I've actually removed the strings from the name, image, and clicks. Then I've also added some shortcuts for some functions. So the get all function will return the dogs, which are right here. The current dog, which is currently set to null, but it will change as soon as I click on the list. I have the change current dog, which will look in the index of the dogs, and the current dog will equal the index. Then I have the increment clicks or increment dog clicks function, which will allow me to increment the dog clicks by 1. Then I have the octopus variable, which will allow me to first, I will initiate the model, then I will initiate the dog list. We first want to initiate the model function, then the list. For the get dog function, we want to return the model of get all dogs, which is the function that we have above here, which will return the dogs. Then we want to get the get dog, so get a single dog, and we'll look at the change dog. So once we click on a different dog, it will initiate the change current dog function, which is above here, which will change the dog we decide to click on. And then we also want the view dog display to be rendered. And then for the increment clicks, we want to get the model of increment dog clicks right here. And we also want to view the dog display to render, just so if you click on it, it doesn't vanish. This will make sure that it just stays where it is. Then we have the view dog list, which is right above here. There is actually nothing much that has changed to it. This is pretty much the same, the dog list, except that we moved the increment function inside the dog list. And then I also have the view dog display, which is the next view, where I want to render the function once we click on it. It will first be empty. First we'll look for the dogs of the octopus function get dogs. Same with the dog, we want to get the dogs from the octopus get dog function. This allows us, when we click on a dog, that we'll get that the corresponding dog. And this is the same function where we attach multiple divs, which will get the moves. We'll add the dog name, the dog image to the display. And then same with the child node, we want to get the third or second child node, which is right here. And then lastly, we want to initiate the function of initiate in the octopus, which is right here, which will allow the list to appear. Okay, so that's the fourth example. Nothing has really changed, just that the code is cleanly structured. So now we move on to the next and final requirement of the project, which is where we have to add a admin button or an edit image button. As you can see, nothing happens, but that's how I want it to be. Then I edit the image and I get 3 input where I can actually input the name. So let's say Vicky, Joy, and Evo. I could change the image URL, but I just want to leave it as it is, because if I add anything else in there, it'll just get different. And now let's add the clicks to 9,999. Save. If we look at the dog clicker now, the name has changed here, and the number of clicks have changed as well. Hooray, 10,000 clicks. That did not take a long time. Awesome. So we basically have the same clean code that we had before, but we've also added a edit current dog function at the model, which will allow us to get the name, image, and clicks of that current dog that we clicked on. In the octopus, we have another function called edit dog, which will allow us to gather the selected name, image, and clicks function from the model, which we just discussed right up here. And it will render the view dog list, and it will also render the view dog display. As soon as I click on the image, edit image, then the list stays and the display stays, or they're recreated. And that's how it's supposed to be. This is basically a new block or a new area of the code. And I'm going to call it view admin. First, we want to initiate the function, which will allow us to, for when we click on the edit button, the view admin will be rendered. And the render function is right here. I have the dogs, which are equal to the octopus get dogs function, and the dog function, which is dogs of octopus of get dogs function. So if the current dog is not null, as we have right up here, if it is not null, if we clicked on an image, something will happen. If it doesn't, nothing will happen. Just like I hit right here, nothing happens. So let's go and cue Lucy. Okay, so if the current dog is not null, we want to select the admin ID of the div. First, we want to make it empty. Same with the edit area, which is this entire area. We want first it to be empty. And then we want to add in a form with 3 different inputs for the name, image, and clicks, and add an extra 2 buttons for the save and cancel. So in the div of admin, we want to append the edit area, which is just right in here. And we want to allow the input of name equals name, image, and clicks, which will allow us to change the value of the dog name, the dog image, and the dog clicks. And if we hit the save button, which has the ID of save, which we created all the way at the end over here, we are able to save the value of the name, value of the image, and the value of the clicks. And then we'll get the function of edit dog, which allows us to select the name, image, and clicks from the octopus function, which gets it from the model. And then for the cancel button, which is right below here, we want to allow that the ID of function on click, nothing will happen. So the base information will stay. And then just to make sure, just like before, you hit octopus initiates if you want to do something else. All right, so Clean code might be annoying to write initially, but it's definitely worth it in the end. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.